You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach.
You're excited.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is For Better and Worse podcast, and we have a special guest today.
Hi, everybody.
It's Joe, Joey, Jizzy, Jizzmaster, Jizzy-Joe.
You give some context as to why that is partially my nickname.
Yeah. How did that come about?
You and your sister's weird Z language.
Oh, yeah.
And then go ahead and explain what you do real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we just started using Z's for things.
So
this would be like a brassiere.
Yeah, you just add Z to the word.
Right.
And when you add the Z to Joe, it becomes
Jizz-O,
which I guess
is short for Jizz.
Yeah, it's a very private nickname.
Only a few know.
Well, now the whole world knows. So,
well, just a couple.
All your listeners.
Couple thou listeners. Yes, I am wearing the red hat that I've been wearing for the past 3 weeks. Mind your business.
It looks good. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas,
it's the holidays,
babe. I'm happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here. I'm like the most avid podcast listener, and to be on one, I mean, it's like a dream come true.
Well, happy to have you.
Thanks, Jess.
I feel comfy here with you.
Comfy. Mm-hmm. Comfy cozy.
Like to show you off.
Don't like to be showed off.
Oh, well, you deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, but thank you guys seriously for having me. I was super pumped.
Absolutely. Rach is not here today. Yeah. It's just me and Joey.
Christmas Spectacular Special.
Christmas Spectacular. Joe, what's your favorite Christmas song?
Favorite Christmas song?
Or least, both. What's your least favorite?
Least favorite. Let me go with favorite first.
Yeah, go for it.
Nat King Cole, the Chestnut song. I think it's called the Christmas song. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty basic, but I think that song is just...
That's a classical.
An absolute hit, though.
Yeah.
It really is.
A banger.
Yeah. Least favorite song? Grandma Reindeer.
I was just going to say the same thing.
It's so dumb.
Grandma got ran over. I hate that. I think my favorite...
Respect your grandparents.
It's just weird. It's a bizarre one. I'm sure kids think it's funny, but...
I'm sure they laugh a lot. But no, that one will not be played.
Not in our house.
No.
Not in his house.
Not many... We're not a big Christmas song couple.
I feel like I have a memory of you saying, like, during Christmas, we will sing the song together. And it was... And you were like, you will sing one part and I will sing the other, and that will make us complete.
We have not done it.
No, we have not.
But I mean, kind of right now. But
I respected the enthusiasm in the beginning of the relationship with that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Around the holidays.
I get you. Oh, yeah. You want to make the holidays like fun for you as a partner individually.
Right.
Because like you combine two family Christmas traditions, you got to find your own, which we have not done great at.
Yeah, that was a question people asked about. Did we start our own Christmas traditions? And there is one.
Ooh, I don't know what this
my
is.
Guy. And it is very well known Eggnog Dance.
Oh, yes. That was a tradition created on accident.
Yes, but it's so iconic.
It is.
One time,
and I love it.
I caught Joe. The story behind the Eggnog Dance is we were just good old Yuletide fun at my mom's house one year, and my nephews were roaming around, and Joe busted out this Santa hat,
which is mysteriously missing and unliked by somebody.
Fuck that Christmas hat! That thing gone.
It looked so bad on me.
He wore it like just casually, and that is what made it embarrassing for me. I was like embarrassed for you that you were just wearing this like
throughout the around the house.
No, it wasn't like, this is funny, just look at me. Like, it was like a casual beanie for him, and I found that.
I didn't wear it out in public.
It
was like a private at home. I did take it to your mom's house.
You brought it to mom's, and yeah, and so you were drinking eggnog out of I think my mom bought you the
Christmas Story Moose Cup.
That's not Christmas Story. Christmas Vacation.
Oh, Christmas Vacation. Moose Cup, yeah.
And so he started doing this little jig, which I will post on the stories when this episode airs, because I found it, and it is iconic.
It is. Well, I think my love for eggnog is pretty strong. It's a little out of control.
It's actually too much.
Yeah.
And for somebody who's lactose intolerant,
I am.
Undiagnosed, but
I am. I love
the evidence shows.
I love all milky things.
The evidence shows that you can't tolerate milk.
Yeah, I do not do well with it.
Dairy.
But like it's eggnog on its own. Like I don't even need the eggnog and rum or the eggnog. I don't even know what you put in it. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. I just love eggnog. And when I have a sip of it, I'm gonna dance.
I'm gonna dance. That's how happy.
I'm in a good mood.
That's the kind of happiness the eggnog brings you.
I get it for 25 days a year, and I'm gonna drink it all 25 of those days.
And I will stand here and say that you have. So
am I sick for 25 days straight?
Yes. Is it worth it?
Yes.
Good for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Here's cruising into holiday questions.
Yes.
Some questions that people asked us.
Okay.
What are trends or cliches that kind of make us cringe? They could be in holiday photos. They can be just holiday trends in general that you just say, that's 100% not for me, dog.
Oh, I have a few. I should say I'm a little bit biased.
Okay.
I think everyone knows like our obsession with Halloween. That's a top tier holiday. Christmas, I love it because people are in great moods. Like everybody's happy, but I don't know if it's in my top 5 or top 3.
Really?
I would put it in the top 5 holidays, but I'm not like a Christmas go-getter. It's not my priority. So I have a lot of cliches that stand out for me.
But what is it about Christmas that you don't like? I feel like you didn't have great Christmases as a child, and it shows.
No, but we did. My parents really, like, we got really great gifts. Christmas mornings were a ton of fun.
Is it your thing about gifts?
I think that's it.
I
really think that is it.
What is it about gifts for you?
I don't know if I can be put in a more miserable situation than having to open gifts in front of anybody.
Is it the embarrassment?
I don't know if it's the embarrassment, the expectation. I think it's being like, okay, everybody's looking, you open this gift. And like, I don't like asking for things. I never did. I'm a firstborn. So I think that's part of the thing. Like, I had great gifts from my parents. I don't want to like put them on the spot, like really awesome Christmases, but I still hated opening the gifts. And I think when you become an adult, that just gets worse because you don't have like the gleam of a little kid getting gifts who like, they don't care. Now you have pressure. And then you also have pressure to get people stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I love the holiday spirit.
Yeah. Okay.
But the gift giving, it's a major
Can't
struggle.
relate.
You're the best gift giver I've ever met.
Love my chance to shine in both ways. Love the attention. I will say that there was that embarrassment for a few college years of opening gifts. That was just a really tough time.
Those are probably the hardest years.
Yeah. And I feel like that was a tough time for me to open gifts because maybe I'm just unsure who I am. Unsure of my jokes. Unsure of how I'm going to act when I open a gift. But now I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm a gift giver, as we all know. And
at heart.
Yeah. And I pride myself in giving good
top
gifts.
Top tier gifts.
This year I went pretty basic. So
that's okay. It's okay to be basic.
Not sorry about everyone's gifts, but they're quality. I went for quality this year.
Yeah. I also come from a family like siblings don't give gifts. Like we don't give each other gifts. So and your family, like you guys love it so much and you all are so good at it. And I'm very appreciative of what I've been given, what I've been able to give, but it's a new world for me. So
it is.
No, but go ahead. Back to the cliches. Give me one.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yours was gift giving.
No, that's not a cliche.
Well, did you say yours?
No, I didn't.
Oh, then say it. Why are you?
Oh, number one cliche. This is hard to hear. We get it. Everyone watches the same Christmas movies. I don't need to be reminded that you're watching. I hate to say that, but like I love Christmas movies. We watch some very specific ones.
What are you talking about? People's posts being like the Grinch tonight.
Yeah, like it's if you like.
You said you enjoy the spirit. That's the spirit.
I guess you're right, but like if you watched the Grinch when it came out, okay, and then you waited 15 years and you watched it again. I'm like, wow, good job. Like, that's awesome. I'm glad for you. But you watched it 365 days ago. That's not that crazy. And you quote every damn line.
It depends. Also, back to traditions, we do have another tradition, and that is the Christmas vacation night.
Yes.
We don't watch Christmas Vacation until it is like a ceremonial thing, and that has to include usually my sister, my mom, and me and you, and that is a night to itself. Sometimes we'd watch it before, but now it's become a little more sacred that we limit it to that one time.
Which I love. And it's not just because of the movie, it's because like now it's a night. Like, hey, this is
right.
The thing
So that is our new tradition, I would say. So we do have that.
We'll hold on to that.
And the eggnog dance usually happens to happen
the same night.
On that night.
Yeah.
Holiday trends that I hate. It is, and I know Britt will back me on this, it's decorating your cars.
Ooh.
Are you fucking serious?
Hey.
Okay, we also saw a new one, which was just hideous. It was just like decorated. It wasn't like the wreath in the front. I can get down with the wreath in the front, especially on like a station wagon.
Oh, station wagon's
That's pretty dope, right?
But you get a free pass if you have a station wagon to do whatever you want.
Vintage.
Yeah.
Vintage. And for only that reason. Also, favorite lights, which are superior. And we could debate this one out because ours are
different sides of the spectrum.
Divided we are in this.
Are you talking about like on your Christmas tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Or in general, but let's go Christmas tree because that's a bit more niche and we shall get into it. 100% yellow.
Nope.
Yellow, white lights on your tree.
Clean cut you are.
Clean cut. Love a boho tree. Love the tassels.
No.
Love the uniform. I love that. Joe, go ahead and take it away. Tell me what
Retro, 1970s, Miller High Life in my hand. Colorful lights, the blues, the greens, the reds, the purples, the oranges, all the colors take me back to my childhood. That's a Christmas tree. That's also how you should decorate your house. More colors, less suburbia white lights.
Beg to diff on that. I do believe I'm fine with the multicolor Christmas tree with the hodgepodge. When we have kids, they're making us dumbass ornaments that we have to hang.
Yeah.
I would love a hodgepodge. But until then, I will be basic.
Why don't you do 2 trees?
We don't have the house for 2 trees.
No, you're right. Not now. But like my grandma, she had this like really classic.
I love a nice tree in the front
and
with
then she had a fun tree in the back.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. Party in the back.
Party in the back.
Clean cut in the front.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But until then, and I also feel like traditions too, I feel like more will come.
Oh, absolutely.
As we grow the fam.
Yeah. It's just you and I. It's what our second married Christmas.
Yes. And we have a lot of places to go. So our holidays are actually really stressful and they look like a lot
on the road.
Yeah. We are like spending more time driving than we are like spending time with family.
To put this in perspective, McAllister's running through the airport. That's Jess and Joe getting house to house.
Truly.
I forget the song, but that's just us.
Run, Rudolph. Santa's got to make it to town. Jess and Joe's got to make it to the next house.
Which we're thankful because we love seeing everybody. So it's fun.
We do. But I feel like that's kind of, it speaks to us, you know, like we're just like, we want to make it everywhere. We want to make everyone happy. We want to see everybody.
Yeah.
But as the family grows, I feel like
I think
we might have to be a little more stationary.
Yeah.
But until then, we will run Rudolph our asses all the way around Northeast Ohio. Okay. Let's get into couples baby talk.
Oh.
Do other couples out there, do you guys have a language? Do you talk? Because if you don't, you're lying.
Yeah, every single couple talks in a weird language.
And we do. Okay? If you're asking us, we do. And we would say, oh, I really like that you do that. I would really like if we could have dinner later.
Our language, which, look, it is what it is.
Hey, listen, we didn't choose it. It chose us.
Yeah. It's super simple. I think we just like replace our R's and L's with weird W's.
Just say it, Joe. You don't have to explain it. Give me, what was something that we would say? Like, what do you always say to me?
Like if I make dinner and I try a new dinner and I like give it to you, it'd be like, hey, you like that? You like that?
Oh, do you say that during in the bedroom? You like that? Jesus. No, what do you always say to me? Like when I'm like cuddled up, you're like, oh, you cuddle little baby.
Okay, time out. It's never been. Okay, now I am embarrassed.
We never call each other baby. No.
We say babe like in passing, but not as couples talk.
No. You're holding back on your baby talk right now.
I wouldn't call it baby talk because I don't think it sounds like a
couple
baby.
talk. What do you call it? What do we call it?
I don't know, just our language. It's not baby talk because it doesn't sound like a baby. So it sounds like someone with a speech impediment. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. I've had past relationships where the baby talk was pretty childish.
Have you?
I have.
And were you turned off by that or turned on?
Not turned on.
I don't mean sexually. I mean was that something you liked or didn't like?
No, I think I like the person, so you just kind of fold into it. When you like your partner, like you'll do anything weird.
Fact.
And that's why I know every couple, especially I know people who listen to this, they have at least something that is a little weird how they talk with their partner.
It's just like an inside joke. I guess like a lingo.
Yeah, and if you don't, like, go make one up. Like, it's fun. It's funny. It should come naturally, but go make it up.
I think we'll really like that.
Oh, we really like it.
See, you do know it. It's something. Yeah. I feel like it's something when I'm like cuddled up or like when I'm like sleeping. You say something funny, but I can't.
Probably like the Rubins.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll hold your horses.
They're not sexual. They just just sound weird. Yeah.
Okay, what would you someone asked us, how do we support ourselves or support each other during the holiday season?
Oh,
It
okay.
being like a stressful, overwhelming time, draining could be.
Yeah.
Someone asked how we support each other.
I think you and I have like two separate. This is a holiday that fortunately for me, like work slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
I have a little bit more free time because I work in the public, like our agency's a little bit slower. Unfortunately for you, you might not be doing weddings, but you've put a lot of like, I would say like healthy pressure on yourself because of your friends and family. So you are a little bit more hectic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year I've done a pretty bad job at reading that, but in the past, like keeping up with the house or making sure I'm ready when I need to be ready for whatever we have to do is really helpful.
Yeah.
And not constantly asking like, wait, where do we have to go? What do I have to do?
Yeah.
That doesn't make it easier for you.
For sure. I feel like as a people pleaser at heart, something I'm working on, but is that like I want to be present in things. I don't want to not be able to do things. So I really just kind of push myself, and it's something, it's a phrase that we use is like my cup gets full. That means like emotionally, any of that. If it just feel like I'm just like push myself too far and I didn't have like enough time to myself.
No.
We kind of recognize that, use that analogy, and kind of go from there.
And I think this year it was just so awesome to see you like knock out all of those edits before the holiday. Like I've never seen you do that. And now that you have that little bit of freedom, or I would say lack of stress.
I can like really enjoy it, which is really nice.
Yeah. So in the future, like we plan a little bit better, then we won't have extra pressure on top of the holiday pressure. So that's a priority.
For sure.
Yeah. Today was my last day of work.
Let's
through
go.
Christmas.
Let's go, Joe.
Needed it.
Good. I felt like you're like angsty all week.
Yeah, because I want to wrap things up.
Yeah.
I want to make sure there's no like pending issues as soon as I walk back in the office on Monday or next week. And then I think after January, things will get busy again, or after the new year, but I'll be ready for it. Put the work in today, be ready for tomorrow.
Be ready for tomorrow. And tomorrow looks like, tomorrow is our Christmas vacation eggnog dance day.
It is.
And I'm stoked. Mom, see you there.
12/23/21. Yeah.
It is the eve of Eve. The
eve of Eve.
Eve.
Low key, my favorite Christmas day.
Why?
Because Christmas Eve, you're ready to go. It's holidays here.
Crunch time.
It is what it is.
Let's go.
The 23rd, nobody's really doing anything, but you're not at work. You're not with parties that
the
you have
pressure
to be
of the actual holiday is off because it's just a free for all. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Do the eggnog dance.
You can do that, and as you will, Joe.
Tomorrow.
And I will record it.
I don't have a Christmas hat, so I'll borrow your red hat that you have right now.
Mm-hmm. We'll use this.
Yeah.
Oh, reliable she is.
Mm-hmm. Very cute hat though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
Thanks for complimenting me. Okay. Someone did ask. We had one Bills fan. We have one listener who is a Bills fan.
Shout out Bills Mafia, whoever you are.
And let's explain it. Joe had a Bills story. I kind of prefaced it, but I want you to hear from Joe's POV.
Yeah.
And kind of explain how you got into being a Bills fan, but also tell this story to the people.
It's the most Clark Griswold family incident we've ever had. And my family, we've been through a lot, but this is as bad as it gets.
Truly.
My mom's cousin, I guess I referred to them as aunt and uncle for a long time. He became an assistant coach for the Bills back in 2011, 2012, and he invited me to a game. I became a Bills fan. I didn't have a favorite NFL team. I respect the Browns. I respect your favorite team, but never been a big Browns fan. Mm-hmm. So I've been a Bills fan for about 10 years now, maybe just over. Yeah.
A decade. Congrats.
Thank you.
As
it's been oh yeah. Shout out.
A little bit lager now by,
I don't know how to say that.
Hamburg, which is out of
Buffalo Brewery.
New York. Yeah.
Buffalo, New York. So uncle's coaching at Buffalo. I get invited to a game, become a Bills fan. It's fantastic. This past, 3 weeks ago, we had tickets to the Bills versus Patriots, Monday Night Football game, big division game. We're pumped. Never been to a Monday Night Football game. Really haven't been to a lot of NFL games. So it was a good experience. Buffalo's just under 3 hours from us. So it's an easy drive. So my dad and my youngest brother, Jeremy, We pack all our stuff. We got the beer. We got the cold weather gear. It's December in Buffalo. Like, that's a different kind of cold. Cleveland, we're used to it.
It was hella cold that night, even in Cleveland. So
even in Cleveland.
I feel like even in Buffalo, it was like really frigid.
They're both on the lake. It's just they're really cold cities. So we bundle up as much as we can. We drive to Buffalo. We get there. We make it to the game. I get to see my aunt. And it's a blast. It didn't go the Bills' way, but that's okay. Like, it's just football.
Didn't go the Bills' way.
Didn't go the Bills' way. It's just football. That's okay. So, thinking ahead, Jeremy and I both have to work in the morning. My dad just retired, so he's going to drive us home. And we decide to leave like partway through the fourth quarter. We're going to beat the traffic. We're going to get home in time. And then Jeremy and I quickly notice my dad was doing like the pocket check.
The pat down.
The
classic pat down. If you know, you know. Which
you should always do the pat down before you leave. But we noticed Dad's doing the old like, yep, that's it. Wait, where is this? And we could tell he's like starting to stress. And in the most Sean McAleese way, my dad lost the keys to the truck somewhere at the Buffalo Stadium.
Like, what you guys saw the pat down, and what you and Jeremy looked at each other and
we knew something was wrong.
You're like, okay, this is it.
So instead of having a blow up on each other and like start screaming, we were very mature. Jeremy and I looked at each other. I said, you go find the truck. I'll go look for the keys. So I walked back to the stadium. Shout out to the Bills staff for letting me back in as the stadium was letting out. I mean, that's like thousands and over 40,000 people like leaving a stadium. It was insane.
How did you even know where to go, though?
I didn't. I mean, we don't know where he lost them. We looked on the ground. We looked inside our seats. We looked at the bathroom. I dug through a bathroom trash can in Buffalo.
That's a new part of the story I haven't heard yet.
Oh, yeah. I was head in.
Hey, if you didn't get COVID there.
Yeah, true.
True. You immune.
Yeah. Hey, if I did, the vaccines helped me. So thank you. I didn't get it though. We realized, okay, we're not going to be able to find the keys. So we start the phone call. Jess is sleeping. That's okay. I didn't bug you. I knew you were sleeping. It was late. It's probably 11:30 at night at this time.
Truth be told, I was a little tipsy.
We finally get a hold of my mom, my poor mom, who's just climbing into bed. She's such a great mom. And then she's told, hey, Kelly, you need to drive to Buffalo. We can't get home. The anger, the fear, the anxiety that I heard like through my mom on that phone, I'll never forget. I felt so bad. But shout out to my middle brother, Sonny, who's the absolute hero of this story. With my mom. Anything he's ever done to me in the past is forgiven. Just know that, Sonny. You have a free pass right now, because he goes and picks up my mom and drives all the way to Buffalo in the middle of this year's first snowstorm. Mm-hmm. Usually is a 3-hour drive, took them like 5.5 hours. Jeez. My dad, Jeremy, and I were able to get in the car because my dad had the passcode, but we didn't have keys to start it.
Right.
So we were bundled up together until 4:30 in the morning in the Buffalo parking lot, absolutely freezing. Jeremy and I tried to sleep. My dad was like, well, I'll kill time and scavenge for free things.
And this is a classic Sean Mac move.
Oh my. Every 5 minutes he was opening the door to show Jeremy and I what he had. So any like body heat we established was gone in seconds.
What was he doing? Like, what was he getting? This was like the tailgate area where you guys parked.
And we're the only car.
And so he's like, I'm gonna go find some stuff.
He found some really cool stuff.
And what was
the best thing he found was a cooler and like 100 free beers. We have a lot of Canadian beer, so shout out to Canada, our friendly neighbors.
So you guys just stocked.
Yeah, my dad stocked up on a lot of Molsons, and he found to put it in perspective, he was picking up like unopened pack of gum. So we have like 3 unopened 5. What is that? 5 gum. Yeah. He found a Buffalo Bills hat, which is cool. Elite. We did find a cell phone, which we were able to connect with the owner at 3 a.m, who came back and picked it up while we were still there.
Heroes.
So we made his day. Yeah.
True heroes. Yeah. You are.
We weren't dumb. We did try to call hotels to just try to like get some sleep or make sure my mom can drive up there in the morning. Unfortunately, Jeremy and I could not miss work the next day because we had some projects that we were involved in. So we had to get home. It was Monday Night Football in Buffalo. It was the biggest game of the year. Out of 18 hotels we called, there was not a single room available. So shout out to my mom. Shout out to Sonny. Picked us up at 4:30. Jess met me at a parking lot at about 6:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. It was like 4. No,
I didn't get picked up till 4:30.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you picked us up right at 7. Jeremy went from Buffalo to work, and I was able to sleep for about 2-3 hours. Never again. Love you, Dad, but
need some time.
Need some time.
Need some time to process that.
Yeah, it was horrendous, but go Bills.
Hey, but all in all, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Love to hear it, Joe.
Yeah.
Good. Someone wants to know. Thank you for that story. Thank you for sharing that. I've heard that.
Going through the trauma right now of it still. I'm still cold, I think.
Still processing?
It's been 3 weeks. I can still feel the buffalo wind.
Ooh, God bless you.
Yeah.
I did tell the story of me picking you up, though.
Oh.
When I was
poor Sonny.
I was like, fuck you, Jess.
Yeah. How was your night, guys?
No, I said,
Jess.
all in all, one day we will be able to laugh at this story. And you guys were like, fuck you.
Oh,
Not
man.
today, Jess.
We hit our wall as brothers, too. Like, we weren't in a great place in that car together.
You guys pulled through, though.
We did. We're okay.
As you do. Someone wants to know our most embarrassing moment as a couple.
Oh, I got mine. It's not even close.
In dating and in marriage, or whatever, the one time you were the most embarrassed.
Yeah.
You got it?
I think so.
What is it?
The football story?
It's a football story.
This is the worst.
We are fresh. We are so fresh. This is
brand new.
What are we, date number 3?
Yeah, date number 3.
Date number 3, which was a classic. Where did we go before? I know the football incident happened at Angel Falls.
Yeah, but this was the first date in Akron. I was really pumped to show you Akron. That's where I'm from.
Right.
The first date was in Cleveland. I think we did another park one. And finally, like, okay, Jess is going to come to Akron. I'm going to show her like the places I hung out in college.
Yeah.
If this happened today, I don't think I'd be embarrassed.
No, but
because it was brand new.
These are monumental times.
Just swipe right.
The impressions have to be good.
Yes.
They have to be solid. There can be no slip ups here. And this, I buried deep for you.
Because you were so embarrassed for me. That's what makes it.
I tried to laugh it off, but I just didn't know where we were at in the feeling embarrassed. Like, are we laughing it off? But go ahead. We were walking into the coffee shop and
Angel Falls, Highland Square.
Yep.
If anybody knows Highland Square, I mean, it's one of the cooler spots of Akron. It's
cool,
hipster.
it's trendy.
It's very trendy. It's hipster. And so we park. We're walking across the street, and there was this couple or friends.
Two group of friends, 2 dudes.
No, it was a girl that hit me. It was a girl. Yeah.
I did not remember that detail.
And they're playing catch with a football, which, like, I don't know. It's not that you see a lot of weird things.
It was like
you see weird things in Highland.
People are comfy here. People are throwing the football. It was
really nice weather for the fall.
Yeah, it was fall time.
October.
Football season. And we're about to walk in. We're having a conversation.
And like we're 30 yards away from these people. So like we're not even near the football game that they're playing in the street apparently. And this girl launches the football, and you couldn't have timed it more perfectly.
I mean, drilled you.
Thump, back of the head, full on.
Boom.
Thought I was going down. Saw 2 versions of Jess. I was so concussed, I think.
It's like you tried to like brush it off. You're like,
yeah. I mean, it was so embarrassing. I didn't see it coming. It wasn't like I dropped the ball.
We were faced the opposite way. Dude drilled you in the back of the head.
And she hit me with the my bad.
I don't remember because I just went hot immediately.
And
I was like, "Are you okay?" But I wanted to laugh.
People were laughing so hard they couldn't breathe.
I mean, it's like they did it on purpose.
I mean, if they did,
we brushed it off.
That girl needs to play in the
You
NFL.
act like it never happened. And when we walked in, you're like, "Oh, what can I get you? A latte?
Coffee?
Coffee?
It's on me." I was knocked out.
Oh my!
I don't know what I said.
God, you were knocked out. You were concussed. You don't even remember the whole night.
I mean,
you have no idea.
I don't know how she hit me that perfectly.
Oh my God!
And it was loud too. It wasn't like it was thump right on my head.
It was hard, and I tried to
Funny
laugh
some
off,
videos.
but I thought you were actually hurt, so I was like, "Are you okay?" It was like the awkward moment of, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Are we laughing about it, or am I checking on your well-being?
We're laughing about it now.
We are laughing about it now.
Yeah.
Good, Joe.
What's yours? You never get embarrassed.
I don't get mad, especially not with you.
No, I don't think you ever had. Always embarrassed for me.
Embarrassed for you, yes, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I feel like in the beginning, I was pretty conscious of like, I was nervous.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I feel like, which is pretty normal, but I don't remember because you always made me feel like I was like,
you're so cool.
I was superior.
Cool people, you couldn't like.
But you
not
made
like
me
you're
feel,
too cool for school.
I'm not though. But you made me feel that way in the beginning, so I was like, I could do no wrong in this guy's eyes, and I have no idea.
You could hit me with that football, and I would be like, that was so cool.
No, truly though, like I really did. Like even if I did do something, I think you wouldn't even accept it. You had like these rose-colored glasses on with me.
No,
You still do.
Yeah, I do. But you also don't do, and if you do embarrassing things, I don't know, it just comes off so like either instantly funny that it's not embarrassed, it's just comical,
I've
or
worked really hard on that.
instantly like, oh, that's just cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Like,
now
she
I
meant to
feel
do
like
that.
when we do things, and things aren't embarrassing for us.
No.
And we've said that too. I literally told Joe the other day, I said, hey, we're listening to Christmas tunes and I'm like, sing in your best voice. And I don't know. Okay. I don't know if girls remember this or guys. When you were growing up, we, as girls, did this a lot. We were like, go in the other room and sing in your best voice. We did this like it was a normal thing we did all the time. And the good singers we would want to hear, and the bad singers, it was just like, at least you give it your all. But I asked him to do this in the car the other day, and he was like, okay. And he like closed his eyes, and what were we? It was I think it was it Nat King Cole? Yeah. And it was Christmas song. He really went all out. He's like, was that good? Like dead ass looked at me. He's like, I'm like, why are you not embarrassed? Like, how are you not embarrassed? I'm like, was that your real voice? And he's like, yeah. Why are you not embarrassed? It's like, it's you.
To put it in perspective, like I am like an uncomfortably bad singer. Like when I sing, it's like, oh man, that's hard to hear. No, but you were
like, I think if you just like sing in your regular voice, like my speaking voice,
I
felt like it was okay. Like he can hold a tune. He can hold a.
I think I can hold a rhythm when I dance, but not hold a tune. I'm not a bad dancer.
It wasn't bad. It was like, okay, it was just like good karaoke at best, right?
Thanks,
like, okay, karaoke. But it wasn't like anything like, whoa, like pulled a run in there that I was like, wow, you can really.
Also, an easy song to sing. But like, no, I don't. One, with your partner, you shouldn't get embarrassed. And if you do, it's an ultimate. I mean, it's a funny story forever. And two, in public, like, what's the worst of getting embarrassed? Like, in the end, it's really not that bad.
Really?
As a kid, like, I'm still sitting on trauma, like, of things I've done that are just so embarrassing.
Okay, we talked about this in our last episode. What's the first embarrassing moment that you can recall as a kid?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Is it that bad?
No, I mean, I'm sure there was a ton. Oh, okay, this one is that bad. And I didn't. The worst part about it is it was so bad that I like, my mind protected me and pretended it didn't happen.
Were you puke kid?
Yeah. How did
I know?
And I was reminded about it in high school at a high school party. This is horrible.
As you redheaded, already sticking out like a sore thumb.
Freckles. I mean, I used to have really bright red hair. Like it stuck out orange. Yeah. Which is okay. Like shout out to every redhead in the world. Like there's something unique about you. So hold on to it. So I was a Catholic schoolboy. I had bright red hair and freckles and a uniform. And for a while, like every single morning I was throwing up every single morning at school. They would call my mom. They're like, we don't know if he's nervous. But when he gets to school, he says he's nauseous. And
the worst part is that your puke was what, pink?
It was always pink. And I was puking like in front of the class. Like there was no like, I'm at kindergarten. I don't know to go to. I just had to like rush and like figure it out.
You were just sitting here like on the story carpet, like. Bleh.
Yeah, her name was Mustard. I said, Miss Mustard, I'm gonna throw up.
Mustard.
Yeah, she's a great teacher. So
the thought of mustard makes me love it too. So
I love mustard. So later to find out, I was allergic to red dye, and every morning my mom was serving me strawberry milk. So like homemade strawberry milk, like with the syrup. So I was getting sick from that every single morning. And I think I was just so embarrassed that it kept happening. Like it was happening every day that the kids were laughing. And I was able to block that out from my memory until a high school party where I ran into kids who went to different high schools after Catholic school. And they're like, wait, dude,
you're puke kid.
You're puke kid. I remember you from St. Matthew's. I was like, wait, puke kid. And they're like, yeah, dude, you remember you used to throw up? And I like, you ever see that meme of that dog who has like all those images like flashing through his head every single like day? It was just like zoom, zoom. I was like having PTSD from St. Matthew's kindergarten.
Like, fuck, that was me.
Man, I was puke kid.
Oh,
I was puke kid. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're puke kid. I knew puke kid. His name was Nick Ferguson, and I'll never forget puke kid.
Nick,
in my first.
Nick, send me a DM. We'll talk.
And
about
his
it.
was red too. His was
allergic.
pink.
He was allergic to red dye.
Nick Ferguson.
It's okay, man.
You and my husband have more in common than I thought.
And we're very good pukers now at our adult age, I'm sure. I'm very good at it.
Good.
Yeah.
And it's
crucial.
Yeah.
That was my first embarrassing moment. I probably didn't recognize it. Yeah. Like I don't think I knew why I was embarrassed, but that was it. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that here on the pod. Yeah. Do we want to get into it? The meat? The meat of the episode?
Some amazing questions by your followers. Like,
thank you guys for, I mean, that was, like, really you guys engaged. Really showed out. There was a lot of questions. I was actually blown away. They were really great questions.
I was thankful they weren't, and every question's a good question, but like they weren't just like, oh, like what's Joe's favorite color? Gray, by the way. But
they were deep, they were good, they were
fun.
They come from like genuine interest, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
So I really think we could get into it.
We will answer your questions.
We will answer your questions right now.
Line them up.
Okay, let's start them out. Pretty simple, it's pretty fun.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing to do together?
You go first, or I go first?
I can go first on this one. My favorite thing that we do together is Wubbins.
Oh.
I really like Wubbins.
Dr. Rubinski.
And this is something people should know about.
They don't know about this?
No, nobody knows about this. And it needs, I mean, a few people know. If you know, you know. And I know you're out there and you're listening that you thought this would come up. And yes, it is. We have created a character. Well, Joe has created a character who is pretty influential.
He's a real person.
He is very important in our lives. And in the beginning of our relationship, Joe would give me these foot rubs. I have no idea how it first started.
I think you just said like, man, you were a waitress at Melt.
Oh, it was, yeah. I was on my feet. I was on my feet all hours of the day. I worked 2 jobs and those required me to be on my feet all the time. But I was like, he's like, oh, no, I think you were like, I'll give you a foot rub. I'm like, dead ass. Like, are you serious? Never have I ever received a foot rub from any relationship I've ever been in until now. And he was like, no, like, oh my God, yeah. He's like, come here. And you like post it up at the end of the bed. Yeah. And I received this foot rub, right? And then it was great. It was phenomenal. And they just kind of escalated into an entire thing. Like
a routine of a very specific organized foot rub that I have perfected over the years.
Or Rubinski, Dr. Rubinski.
Dr. Rubinski has, yeah. That is his name. I am not Dr. Rubinski. He provides Jess with a prescription of like, hey, like you had a tough wedding weekend. He gave you a prescription of Rubins. I can't believe we're telling people this.
Okay, and then so the Rubins, I don't know how we got to Rubins. I have no idea why they're called that.
Neither do I.
But they become a thing.
It's just a foot rub.
And it's just but the foot rub is, I'm going to tell you from the recipient of them as the client of Rubinski, longtime client, first time caller. And they require lotion.
A specific lotion to oil ratio that I
Lotion to oil ratio. And I mean, this is superior. This is elite foot rubs. I'm telling you, I am very lucky. I do not take this for granted. Rubinski has come through and many times, dark times in my life. And I appreciate it.
Especially once you became a photographer, like they were crucial.
Well, the prescription had upped. We had upped the dosage of the prescription. This whatever you want to call it has gone so far that one time I came home from a wedding and Joe, being the theatrical guy that he is, he actually acted out an entire what do we call this? A skit.
It was a doctor's office. It wasn't a skit. You went to Dr. Rubinski's office.
I came home and I was met with the receptionist, Marge, and she asked me all these questions, was getting my my insurance information, and then I was met with the doctor.
Yeah.
Rubinski himself. I met him for the first time. Mm-hmm. And
he's a good guy.
Joe had acted out this entire thing, costumes, wigs, accents and all. And that was the funniest thing I've ever witnessed.
No, but Rubins have been like, it's weird that they're called Rubins. I get that. But like,
but
it's
they're
just
a way
a foot
to
rub.
connect.
Yeah. We just shut down.
All in all.
Last part of our day, we watch one of our shows and I rub Jess's feet. But it's like, it's a pretty organized, thoughtful rub. Like, I have a very pattern.
A thoughtful rub.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's not just like me like poking your toes as we watch a show.
No,
like,
I'm telling you guys. Yeah. I see what I needed to see. I feel what I needed to feel in the Robins, and they're top notch.
I have never gotten Robins.
No, it's not. It's not something that I am. I'm not Rubinski. Okay,
neither am I.
I've never gotten a script from Rubinski. I don't know, but it is probably my favorite thing we do together. It's also
good stuff.
Not just because I'm the recipient of the Robins, but
it's funny.
The fact that it's become a thing. It's a way we connect, and I enjoy it. What is your favorite thing we do together?
Favorite thing we do together absolutely is, and it doesn't happen all the time, but enough that it stuck out. Jess and Joe dive bar energy.
Oh, yes.
We love a good dive bar.
We thrive in a dive bar.
We just hit our own. And it's not because it's cheap beer. It's not because it's like a quiet place. I think it's just because we meet unique people. We meet the townies. And we just kick it off there. We love it.
We do. I've probably seen you at your happiest this
Dive
past
bars.
night. We went to just like local restaurant, local bar, local dive bar down the
Walking
street.
distance from our house.
Right. And it's fun. I feel like it's us in our truest form.
Yeah. Definitely my favorite
that.
part.
I guess that answers our second question.
Yeah.
Favorite date night atmosphere.
Dive bar.
I would say like that's yours.
Dinner. Yeah. Dinner followed by a dive bar.
Yeah. Definitely. I like brewery energy.
You do. You do love that.
I like cards. We play a lot of rummy. Joe and I play a lot of rummy.
Yeah.
It's chill. I mean, it's intentional time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just most important of any place we can get out where I feel like you and I are easy to please when it comes to any type of, but like that would be the vibe. That would be the atmosphere.
And we're fortunate that we live in Cleveland Heights and we have access to really just some amazing, we have a cool brewery on our block. We have great dive bars on our block.
We do.
And some of the best restaurants in Cleveland are on the east side. So we do have access to that, but we never hesitate to try new places either. So
for sure.
That's good.
Lucky we are. What are your did we do this first thoughts when we first met?
I think we did the last time I was on.
We did.
Yeah,
we might have. We can brush past that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're gonna answer that in a lot of the other questions.
First date energy, you guys know.
Nerves.
Well, we talked about you like shaking.
Oh my god.
In the car trying to get the aux cord in the.
I couldn't stop shaking.
I was really comforted by that.
When I gave it.
I was comforted by that because I was like, oh my god, he's really nervous.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's weird though, because like I did the same thing at Chris and Carrie's wedding where I was like shaking during my speech.
That was bizarre from you though.
I give speeches every day.
I know. I was like, what is going on?
I don't know. Nerves. When it's important, I get nervous.
Okay. How do you guys balance being together and having personal space?
Oh, great question. I did not know that question was asked.
Oops.
We're very different.
We are very different. I require a lot of personal space. Joe, if he, I mean, I'm not going to speak for you.
Yeah.
But you don't care for personal space.
Yeah, I don't do great on my own. I don't. I mean, I'm actually like literally a lost dog. A lost puppy. Yeah.
So this is something that we've been working on, that we do work on, that Joe learns. I'm like, I act a certain way. I'm kind of just like more to myself, maybe quieter. It could come off too as like passive aggressive. It can come off as me being rude, and Joe just like will keep asking. But I guess it takes me time to understand like, hey, I'm just having like an introverted day. I'm just having a me day. I'm in my own head, and I kind of just like need some space. But that's, I guess, both of us, like him reading the signs, but also me being able.
I fail.
No, but also me being able to communicate. Hey, I need some space. I need some time. My cup is full. Whatever it is, and being able to navigate that.
It's really hard, but I guess like how do we navigate it? We're still learning. I think communication has been our misstep there. So I would say that's how we would hope to in the future identify when personal space is needed. We do live together. We're together quite a bit, especially during COVID when I've had more opportunity to work from home. I've done a pretty bad job at reading that. So I'll work on that.
What? I don't think so. I think when you're like, I get it. I'll give you space. But it's like,
why is it taking me so long to get it?
Because I need to learn to communicate.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll figure it out. This is first year marriage. Like, ooh.
First year marriage. We got one down.
We did.
Plenty to go. Okay. Moving to the next question. When did you know that you wanted to marry one another? Did we talk? No, we didn't talk about this.
I mean, we can touch on it real quick. Yeah. I think that's a really good question too, because it's different for every couple. There's not always like that, I don't know, like movie moment where like the wind blows through the door and everybody moves out of the way for the guy or the girl. I think twofold, maybe like I knew I wanted to really invest in Jess was pretty early on. I think we decided that we were going to run this half marathon. And I noticed we
achieved the goal together.
We did. And I noticed like I was doing all this stuff. Like I changed my eating habits. I really did change the eating habits extremely. I was extremely active. I was really crushing it at work. Just like,
well, you
really
just
focused.
gotten your promotion.
Yeah. And I noticed
a big promotion.
Wow, like I'm doing all this stuff and it sounds a little bit selfish, but it's making a better version of me. And then I try to find the core cause of that. And it was pretty simple. Like Jess was the motivating factor there. And selfishly, like it would be hard to let go of the best version of yourself. And I recognize that Jess helped me get there. And the reason I wanted to be that version is to make sure that she felt that she was getting a partner that was worthy of her, which one day I will be, I promise. But give me some time.
You're so worthy.
Thank you. But you're pretty hot. A hot wife.
A hot wife. You get one wife.
You get one wife.
It's the way the world works.
I don't know. Shout out Nick Miller.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I've been seeing both.
No, and I think the other thing, if you want to measure if you found the person and you think you might want to marry him, like you really need to put that pressure against like when you were coming home from work, if you've had a bad day, like what is your every day with that person, even including like Saturday mornings. If you're like, man, like I don't want to do this without this person, like even on the most boring Tuesday night, this person is like the priority of my night, and that feels so good.
We talk about that all the time. Like we still have fun. Like it doesn't matter.
No, yeah.
Like what day of the week it is. It's like you still, if you look forward to seeing them every time you see them.
And you got to recognize that while you're dating, because like once you're married, like you better like hanging out with them. But like while you're dating, like that's a transition from being solo, handling your own stuff, and then adding another person to that. So if you feel comfortable and things feel right, hang on to that. See what you got there.
Cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute answer. I don't have a great
there's not always a moment.
Very Joe-like answer to that question, but there was a specific moment for me.
There was.
Yeah, I think I told you this. We were in your old house, formerly known as the DZ, aka Discovery Zone. It was very much like the Discovery Zone. It was the coolest house I've ever seen.
I lived with like literally the New Girl house. I think it was the New Girl 3 guys and a girl. Yeah.
It was the New Girl house, but way bigger and cooler and fun. But no, there's a specific moment we were in your room and you were wearing this purple shirt, which I despise now, but was
Hurley.
Yeah.
You Hurley know shirt. Yeah, why do I have a Hurley shirt?
I have no idea. Oh, but you were like cleaned up. I think we were getting ready to go to church.
We were, yeah.
And we listened to music. Like I was never allowed to have a silent moment in my life. Music had to be playing at all times, and we were listening to the speaker. And I'm on Fire cover by AWOL Nation, which came to be a full circle moment for us, but a really weird song. But it was, and you like came up and kissed me, and I just like felt something warm and fuzzy, and I was like, wow. I don't think this was the moment I knew I wanted to marry you, but this was the moment I knew that I was in love with you.
I love that. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hurley.
Yeah. But there are some things that stuck out about me wanting to marry you. And a lot of them have to do with you, but I am going to touch on a lot of them having to do with your friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but
I don't think you have.
No, there were just some really pivotal moments. The first day I met your friends was our second date. Bold move.
Yes, game night.
Bold move. I was invited to game night. I think I talked to this maybe on a previous pod, but I was very welcomed, and I saw what kind of people you surrounded yourself with, and that was really telling to me.
Oh, man.
Also, I showed up one night to a Nerf game night.
No, not Nerf game. It was Nerf War.
Nerf War is what we called it.
Very serious.
It was wild, you guys. I showed up. It was an unexpected night. I was actually busy with something else. Plans fell through. I ended up reaching out to Joe, and I was like, hey.
I was having a night with the boys. Like a night
with the boys. And I said, can I come through? Or just like, hey, plans fell through, and I just want to see you. And so I showed up to a full-blown Nerf War. And this is not what you think it is. It was taken very
really
seriously.
Yeah.
There was sound effects. There was music to the game.
Scary, spooky music.
And very intense rules, hiding. It was so intense, but it was like one of the funnest things I've done as an adult in a really long time. It was so just unadulterated fun. I was like, wow, you have a really cool group of friends. And that
kids again.
Yeah, that was just really important to me that you guys just like did different things. I hung out with douchebags for probably a really long time. And so I just have never seen something like this. And I was like, this is just really cool. I feel like you were really different and in many ways,
Jess.
But that was shout out to the friend group. If
shout
you're
out
listening.
to the friend group. Shout out. We did lose the Nerf War. Jess got stuck in a shower. She couldn't get out.
I got trapped. Okay.
Yeah. It's not your fault. The other team was very good.
It's not your fault.
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 It's the best movie ever made.
Okay, next question. What are some questions to ask your partner before marriage?
I think from experience, like some of the like everybody has like really isolated goals in their life, like really specific goals. And sometimes that might be like, well, I really want to be a mom. I really want to be a dad. I really want to live this type of lifestyle, whether that be adventurous, whether that be a little bit more like introverted. So like you really need to make sure that maybe not like asking the specific question, but as you're building your relationship, like you're identifying, okay, this person does want the same like type of lifestyle as I do. This person does want kids, or this person doesn't want kids. This person wants to have access to things that maybe you don't want to have access to. And I think it shows in some friends that I've had, like one partner like really was striving for like financial goals, like big money, big houses, or the other person was like, no, like that's not a priority to me. Like I'm comfy where I'm at. And like, I'm glad that those conversations were held before they took the next step, because 5 years down the road, when one of them doesn't hit their goals, see ya.
Right. I think that's hard though. I feel like that just comes with like
very scary. Yeah.
Seeing that you're compatible in that way though, you know, I feel like you can avoid really hard conversations like that for a long time, but it will definitely come up in your marriage because it shows like where your life wants to go. I mean, like having kids is a big one, you know, like is that something we both want to do, and at what point, you know? Finances, a huge conversation.
Also like kind of like some little things that aren't going to make or break your relationship, but they're going to help you in the long run. Like Jess and I knew pretty quick, like, hey, like for Jess, cooking wasn't really like her thing. It just wasn't something she was passionate about, something she felt comfortable doing. So it was something that I liked. And because we've had that conversation, we really established some like healthy roles there.
Put it here, pal, for just throwing it down in the kitchen.
Hey, at least I don't have to do laundry. That makes no sense to me.
I don't
understand it.
Something about it is just oddly satisfying to make my clothes smell good. I'm like weird about that. I'm also going to be weird about the way my kids.
I know how to make sure my clothes aren't dirty.
I know, but like I get sick satisfaction out of like folding it and like smelling it. Like I smell probably every piece that I fold. I'm like, oh yeah. That's a good
Downy right there.
In Downy intense. That's how serious I am about the laundry.
Yeah. So like just like talking to your partner about like, hey, like what are your everyday like roles in your life, and like how do you feel comfortable, or things make you not comfortable? Like one thing that Jess and I probably should have talked about and we didn't. Like I'm not a dirty person. I'm not a disorganized person. I can't be, but I'm not as intense. Is that the right word to use?
Sure.
As you?
Sure.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's our cleaning personalities. I'm a picker upper. Jess is a deep cleaner. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an unattainable.
It's wild. I mean, it's actually crazy.
If you want to talk about our biggest struggles in marriages,
it's crazy. Because like I'm not dirty, so I'm like blown away by it.
It's just like nobody can do it like me. It's something I'm working on. There's a deeper root of it. If we could really get into it, of why I am this way, but it's like it's not done right unless it's done by me, which is not great, pretty toxic, but it's not.
I mean, I respect the passion. I respect the hustle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, there's no better feeling than having a clean ass home.
I love that you love it.
I love it.
Because I love that you love being a clean boy sometimes.
Still don't understand why you chose Huskies. So
good segue there. Good segue there into
some dog questions. Thank you guys for asking about the dogs. Seriously.
Oh, Joe really appreciates it.
They're funny dogs. And
Diamond dogs.
Watch Ted Lasso. That's the only message I want people to learn from this. And I'll talk about TV shows later.
We did talk about Ted Lasso in our last episode.
Good.
Be a part of the Diamond Dogs.
Be a diamond dog.
If anything in this life, be a diamond dog.
Do what's right.
So
let me hear about these dogs.
A question asked by a very dear friend of mine. Which dog is your favorite? And which dog is the best behaved? I will answer both because both are mine. Off the bat, my favorite is Olive. She's my firstborn. And she right now, just because she's older and we got gifted training for her that she is the best behaved. Pickle is obviously younger and still learning things, but that's my answer, babe. Go ahead. We all know your answer.
No, we are different ends partially.
Split.
Pickle is definitely my favorite dog. I don't want to say favorite, but Pickle and I connect really, really well.
Right.
We are best buds. Olive is by far the most well-behaved. But I will say this, Pickle at 1 year old,
she's good,
is way better than Olive was at 1. So like there's some hope in Pickle. Pickle is way more calm. She's not the brightest.
Her name matches her energy. Let's just say that.
She's a legit Pickle.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she doesn't like get things all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. When I brought Olive home, I had like that moment. And if you're a Twilight listener, we imprinted on each other. Okay, and I felt it.
Imprint?
Imprinted. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I felt that with Olive. I did not feel that with Pickle, but that's okay. I still love Pickle very much. She warms my heart. But we established that. I have no idea how that we were able to admit that to each other, but it was like a funny moment.
And the dogs kind of told us, like, I love Olive. We spent a lot of time together, but actually, both dogs are going to choose each other over you and I always. Those two are best friends.
They are.
Yeah.
We love to see that.
Yeah, they play a ton all day.
Someone asked, how do you deal with differences in dog parenting? Great question. Don't let this lead into our real life parenting, but
they're dogs.
No, I went with Olive, which was honestly looking back now, something that I would have done differently, but I went to every training session with Olive. So I learned all of her training techniques, firsthand with the trainer and with Olive. So, I would say that I am more knowledgeable in Olive's training.
Definitely.
So that is why. And I also come from a behavioral background. So that kind of gives me advantage to training in some ways that Joe doesn't really understand, that I kind of just have to walk him through. But that would be the difference in it. Like I said, would I go back and do differently, that Joe and I would show up to Olive sessions together and that he would learn e-collar and all the different ways. It definitely would have helped. But it hasn't become an issue necessarily, because if we're dealing with Olive outside the house, it's with both of us. So
yeah.
Okay. Last question on dogs. If you didn't have a husky, what breed would you have?
Oh, okay.
Okay. On the count of 3, say what breed you would have.
Okay.
On
3?
1, 2, 3.
Answer.
Breed.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Burmese.
Nothing. No breed. Husky or bust.
No way.
Husky or bust.
I could not live without a dog. I'd take a pug. I'd take anything.
Okay. At one point, we did want a pug. We wanted Olive and a pug.
Yeah,
but we also got one, aka Pickle.
Yeah.
She's like a pug.
No, Burmese mountain dog.
Yeah. I guess
Also,
I've never been around that many Burmese to really like fall in love, but I've just I'm a husky girl.
Give me a mutt. I don't care. I just love dogs. Whatever your dog is, send me a picture of it and I will give it a 10
You've
out of 10.
been emotional around dogs lately.
Yeah, just I think I like watched that dog documentary on Netflix and like learned. Just watch it. I'm not going to describe it, but like holy moly, they are so important.
Aww,
and hey, shout out to cat owners too. I'm not knocking you, but
I am.
It's not. I'm allergic to them, so I can't have them. But yeah, dogs are great. So 10 out of 10 to every dog that's out there.
10 out of 10.
Some of you, no, 12 out of 10 to every dog. Every dog gets a 12 out of 10.
I did forget to ask you. We could talk about marriage stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I did want to know about. Someone asked advice for a groom.
Oh, for on like your wedding day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually glad because like weddings are fantastic. And I think grooms need to have a better understanding that you're part of it too. It's your wedding as well. And shout out to all the brides who work so hard to make that day special for everybody and their families. But I want to see more out of these guys. Step up.
In heterosexual relationships.
Step up. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, because every type of relationship, like both parties need to have a role in that and give the effort that's needed. Some of the things that really helped me, the first thing is the biggest priority is like slow that day down. It goes so fast. Like really slow it down for yourself because next thing you know, like you're already married. It's over. Like that was your wedding. And if you didn't pause to reflect, you're going to miss it. The ways to help do that is to set yourself a timeline with you and your groomsmen or you and your family. Because we have a little bit less responsibility when we wake up. The girls are getting ready or the other parties are getting ready. So the guy or girl who has less responsibility in getting ready, like set something up. I know at your and I's wedding, like we made sure we were going to have this small Bloody Mary bar. We were going to have breakfast together. We were going to try to play like some type of sport that we weren't going to get hurt in. And I'm glad that we put a priority on that, because like next thing I know, it was time to get ready. And I'm glad we didn't just sleep in and then got ready for the wedding. The second most important thing is set your boundaries. At weddings, you have a lot of people there that love you, and they want to talk to you. They want to share this moment with you. They want to share stories, and like, that's okay. It's so great to reflect and be thankful for the people there, but it's your wedding. Like, go dance with your wife, go dance with your husband. Just spend that time, like not stuck on the sideline, having conversations about 5 years ago, and go enjoy the moment. Those are two huge priorities. And the last one, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be picky. Feel comfortable in what you're wearing, but your partner puts a lot of work into what they want to look like, and not physically, like everybody's beautiful, but pick something and put some effort into it. You can buy a $10 suit and go get it fitted for yourself. Like, make sure you feel confident in what you're wearing. And I'm not saying what you're wearing is wrong, but you need to be comfortable in it. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of guys in any type of relationship take that for granted, and they look back and they're like, man, I wish I would have tied my tie right, or I wish I would have.
I would have picked a different suit that wasn't just a standard at Men's Warehouse.
Yeah,
like yours was different, and you put thought into that, and like,
yeah,
we really researched your perfect suit, and you really wanted that, and you liked it, and it was a risk, and yes, it got shipped the week before, but we're not going to talk about that. But no, I think that's I never thought that you would bring that up, but I'm so glad that you did.
And it's not about cost, because like money's at times, believe me, I know money gets tight. So you can go to, like, I still buy suits at Goodwill, and then you just go get them fitted for yourself. So you can always put in the effort and save costs. And if you want to look a certain way, like, don't be hesitant to make that work for yourself.
And don't be hesitant.
I hope that's not rude.
Don't be hesitant to do it on your wedding day. Like, if you aspire, or, are inspired by a certain look, don't go with the basic Men's Warehouse. Like, go with something different. Like, you as, the groom, or, if you want to wear a suit, even if it's not a suit, but you're right. Yeah. But like, I guess you're speaking from, your experience in getting a suit. It's like, it doesn't have to look like everyone else's. No. If you like that, go for it on your wedding day, because obviously it's something that you don't regret on your day. Yeah.
And like, hey, everybody has like really awesome things that they add to themselves. And like, I really like certain watches. So that was a priority to me. I'm so thankful that Jess got me a beautiful watch to wear on my wedding day. Like, feel confident in what you're wearing, and don't treat this as a special day. I think sometimes some partners, and weddings aren't important for everybody, but if they are important to you and your partner, then show it that respect. So good question.
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving into the most frequent question we received.
Okay.
We'll get into Joe's story of Sarah, which was his past wife. We'll let him take the floor on that, and then answer some questions about it.
Yeah. And I got to see some of the questions, and I respect everybody's like hesitation, but I'm a pretty open book. So always feel free to ask questions. And I know Jess will get you guys the right answers. And it's great to share a perspective on being previously married and losing that person in kind of a shocking way. But I met Sarah when I think I was 22 years old. I was just getting into law school. And we worked together at the YMCA. That was my first like real job. I was there for a couple years, and she also worked there. She was a couple years older than me. So pretty quickly I was like into a more serious relationship than I probably thought I was going to be at that age. So that was a little bit of a transition for myself. And then in 2015 in October, I was lucky enough I got married to her. But unfortunately, less than 3 months later, she was in a car accident. She was driving by herself at night, kind of unsure as to what might have caused the car accident. But at some point she did veer off the road, and she struck a telephone pole, and devastating that she lost her life. There was some type of like good news that there was no suffering, that she passed either on impact or maybe had some type of brain problem like an aneurysm before. The doctors were able to provide us with some insight that there was some like trauma to the body from a car accident. I was able to see her and work through that process with the doctors, and they were very helpful to try to help me understand. But I was only 25, 26 at the time, so I was super young. I know, was it last week you had the opportunity, or a few weeks ago, you guys talked about grief? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think just listening to that podcast, like so many of the things that Jess and Rachel and Meg talked about were dead on. After losing Sarah, like I think I was just in this like intense state of shock.
Mm-hmm.
Like you lose somebody unexpectedly. It's a car accident. You're woken up with the news. That's just like beyond overwhelming. So I think in a sense, your body protects you. Like, yeah, there's so many ups and downs, lots of crying at times, but also shock. Like your body just lets it kind of sit and like separate itself from it. Unfortunately for me, I probably sat in that disconnection a little bit too long. I think for probably the next year, like I was there, but I was still disconnected, and not necessarily out of sadness, but out of like, man, like what's next? This wasn't part of the plan. I have planned every single moment of my life, and that really wasn't part of it, of course, because it's nobody's position. But I was able to identify a few things that really helped me get through it. And the first one was surround yourself with very specific people. Shout out to my best friends, Chris, Scott, Andrew, my brothers. A lot of friends just really stepped up and like practically moved in with me to just be with me for the first couple weeks and even the first month of just like constant social like interaction. But be very specific on like who those people are. Because one of the shocking things is when that happened, like you're reminded instantly how many people love you. And I'm thankful for all of that support, but there were so many people reaching out to get lunch, to get coffee, to get dinner. And really the focus of those meetups was just to relive the trauma, and you're kind of pushing yourself through that on your own. And if you're constantly reliving that with everybody who wants a part of the story, which I respect, everybody loved Sarah and loved myself, like they deserve that time. But you got to watch out for yourself first. So that was a huge priority. And then I also, maybe in an unhealthy way, dove into things to distract myself. When Sarah passed away, I had to take the bar exam in just a few weeks after. I didn't have a ton of time to study for that, but what I did do is re-engaged with myself at work. And I really made that a priority to be productive when I got in the office and be really good at what I do. And I don't know if that was a healthy decision, but it helped me. So whatever helps you, I guess, is your grieving process.
That's good.
Yeah, that helped a lot. Some of the weird things that did happen, it's a little bit shocking, like how quick you lose some relationships that you thought were lifelong. And this is not a knock on anybody. Sarah has just such a wonderful, beautiful family. But our grieving process was very different. And through that process, I probably in an unhealthy way kind of removed myself from those connections, which is a regret of mine because I think everybody had a role to play there and I kind of failed some people. So that's hard. But
would you say that there was no right or wrong way to
No,
grieve?
there's
and
not.
That was
There's
like,
not.
And that was like the natural process. I feel like that's kind of how you explained it to me.
Yeah, it was very natural. I think that my grieving process kind of pulled myself away from those relationships. And to be honest, it maybe is what had to happen there.
Right.
Otherwise, we could still be sitting in it. But there were some really good friends that I kind of lost contact with that maybe I wish I had today. But there was a reason that I had to go the route that I did. And I don't know what that reason is. And hopefully one day I'll learn. But yeah, it was there. And then to see myself today is like, that incident, like life-changing doesn't even describe it, because my life did a complete 180 in direction and personality. And I don't know if that's just my brain protecting me from the trauma or is part of the grieving process. I'm thankful for it because the person I am today is who I think I wanted to be. It just took me some time and unfortunately some hard life experience to understand that. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, thanks, Jess. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't talk about it too often, and not because I don't want to. It's just because it really, in a way, doesn't come up too much because I've established myself in so many different aspects of my life, my career, my current relationships with those around me, that it no longer sneaks up. And I think that's another thing that those who have lost people are maybe surprised about. And I think this is probably affecting you when we first met. Like there are some anniversaries that still pop up, like
Yeah.
the date of the death, my previous wedding date,
Yeah.
which are important dates. And I'm not going to knock those.
Right. I guess that kind of goes into like,
Yeah.
how do we still honor her?
Yeah.
What was like my take when I first heard it, or questions that people asked, which are great questions that we feel comfortable answering.
Absolutely, we do.
Joe, on our second date, which was the Friends game night, is the day that you told me that you were married previously and that Sarah was her name and that she had passed away, and kept it pretty vague. And you're like, I'm open to answer any questions. I do feel ready to date. I think you kind of expressed that, being like,
Yeah.
I feel ready to, move on and start dating again. So I want you to know that I'm in a good place about it. But you wanted to be transparent, which I absolutely adored. Was that shocking news? Yes. And it was so weird that I was like, what's the catch here, with you? Because I was like, everything is so perfect. Like, how are you not already snatched up?
It was not perfect.
Yes, it was. But in my eyes, I was like, wow, this guy is so different than any other guy I've ever dated in my life. First off, you're a redhead. Second off, I'm kidding.
Shout out to the redheads.
No, but when I had heard this, that was a really big deal for me.
Oh yeah.
Was it a deal breaker? Obviously not. We are married. But I had to do some thought on that myself. And
Yeah.
I think that came with just communicating with Joe about it, right? Like learning more about her. Was this it? Was she, your only love? Do you see it that way? Just like kind of diving into some deeper questions with him about her,
Really
learning
hard
about
questions.
her.
Yeah.
Until you get to a point where like, okay, how do we honor her? And like you said, there are those dates that come up. His family also had a loss with her and had the chance to get to know her, and they all, remember her on specific dates and stuff. And like, I welcome it. And
oh my gosh, yes.
I remember your mom reaching out to me and be like, I hope you don't feel uncomfortable by this. I'm like, in any way that we can honor her, I welcome and support and love. Like, I will do the same. So she comes up naturally in conversation for Joe and I, and we'll talk openly about it. But
yeah,
that is kind of my take. Someone asked if I compare myself, which is a pretty deep question. Which I would say no. That obviously happened before me. And this is kind of how I like compartmentalize it, but I don't. I feel like I met Joe at a really different time and in a way that he describes
so
as a
true.
complete different version of himself. Like I said, do I honor and respect his prior relationship? Absolutely. But no, I don't compare myself. I don't know how else to say that. I love our love.
A really great. You love our love.
I love our love.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it was a. I think after the accident, of course, like my priorities were with family and with friends and with work, and like dating wasn't a thing. At some point, like closer to the first year, like I kind of wanted to re-engage with it. I had good dating experience, but nothing ever really clicked. And I was really hesitant to bring that up about myself. But after meeting Jess and quickly realizing like, whoa, this is something I just like fully want to invest in, I owed that to her and to my family and Sarah's family to disclose that information. Of course, you were going to find out. And I'll never forget how supportive you were. And it wasn't like you were brain dumping with questions or concerns, or you weren't fragile about it. You were just caring. And I respected that so much. And the other thing that's, I think when we talk about it so much is I get pulled back to like, man, I was such a different person that many years ago and with Sarah. And I've learned in this relationship from Sarah's relationship, I wish I would have been a little bit more mature. I was maybe a little bit too young at that time, and I wasn't the greatest partner that I should have been. And so in those first year or two, like really learning that about myself, finding my confidence on my own, starting a new career, I was able to be the type of partner I wish I would have been in the past. I'm just so freaking fortunate to like have met you and to be able to show that confidence and feel safe in this relationship. Not that I didn't feel safe in the past, but to feel safe with my full story.
I remember when you first told me, I felt very Very empathetic.
Yeah, that's the best word. I'm not great with word like thinking of that, but yes.
Right, but I remember feeling that way. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I hate, people always say that they hate when people say, like, I couldn't imagine,
No, but it's so true.
But
it's a pretty crazy story.
But yeah, but I do remember feeling that way. Like, I just feel so bad for him. But for some reason that just like all made you who you are, and like it explains a lot of the things about you that like made a lot of sense, Yeah. And I think we talked about that in our grief episode.
Oh, good. You guys did.
That we were like, does do things about us because of this story make sense to you now?
Wow.
And I mean, that says, almost everything about you and like some things that you've dealt with.
I think the biggest thing that I'm thankful for was that Jess and I have not once compared the previous relationship with this relationship. And partially because, one, that's really not a healthy thing to do. And two, the relationship I have with Jess is, entirely different than anything I did or would have had with Sarah. And I don't think, they're just different relationships.
Yeah.
I don't think this one would have carried in that one. And I don't think that one would have ever carried in this one. And I do think those who have suffered loss, like, are 100% going to find love again. And how that love looks may be similar. It may be different. Life's tough. You never know. And I'm in a way thankful for the experiences life has taught me. Of course, I would never want to sacrifice someone's life for that. But when you don't have control over it, you got to handle it the way you can. And I'm thankful for where I'm at today.
Good answer. Thanks, we did it, guys. We answered those.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag.
Is that the saying?
Yeah. Cat's out of the bag. We've always just touched on that. And I feel like that was a lot of questions. Like, hey, if this isn't too much, if this isn't too much. Like, we wanted to get into it either way. But it's like, I just wanted Joe to come on here and tell the story himself.
Yeah. And there's going to be follow-ups, insight, and don't hesitate to ask, because I'll tell you the story.
Dope. Moving forward. I feel good about that. That was a great little.
Yeah, it's important.
It's a great bit.
It's important. You got to share that stuff.
I think we did that well. Right here. Put it here, pal.
With our powers combined.
Was it SpongeBob?
Captain Planet, SpongeBob. Captain Planet.
Moving forward.
Yeah, where are we at?
Okay.
Yes.
We're about wrapping this up because we've gone on way too long. Sorry, Rach, guys, for you having to edit this. Do either of you still get jealous or have ever?
Whoa.
Cool follow-up. I would like to speak on this first. I think it's one of my favorite things about my relationship with Joe. I do not. I've never felt that. Because he makes me feel so loved every day that I couldn't possibly feel envious or jealous of like him like giving his attention elsewhere. I have not felt that. Maybe, you always feel jealous of something, but I really, at the top of my head, it's probably one of my favorite things about this relationship is that we are secure. I'm speaking for myself. So feel free to chime in.
No, I think in life, there's some jealousies that I may have, but they've never once entered my relationship with Jess. And I don't know, I think it's based in trust because we're a good couple, but there are times where I'm annoyed by you, you're annoyed by me. That's just reality. And
that's not jealousy though.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying, in those moments, it never extends to any sense of jealousy or untrustworthiness or
no.
And you have a career that holy shit, during the summer and the fall, we are really disconnected at times because you're gone all weekend.
Right.
And that brings its own struggles, but jealousy is never
Jealousy's
one of them.
not one of them.
Yeah. If anything, it's just fuel support. Go get it, girl.
But the thing about how we combat that disconnectedness, it's I come home to Marge.
Yeah,
Marge and Dr. Rubinski, and Joe finds a way to reconnect us in a funny way.
It's not easy. There's times where we just hit a wall and we're like, man, this sucks. So you just set aside some time. But no, jealousy is never something that's played into our relationship. I know, and I'm not trying to speak for you, but I know in the past, I think it has for you in other relationships.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that's tough.
And it takes one person to be like, who are you talking to? And it's just never something we've ever
Get it together, guys.
It's not our conflicts. It's not, so we're lucky for that. I was gonna follow up on that, but I don't remember. I guess this is off the dome. Like, what are things we do to reconnect after feeling disconnected?
Like, so there's like, I would say there's 2 avenues that we try to take. First, like, plan something, not just like a date night.
But those are our ways of like.
That was the second one.
Okay.
The first one is like plan something that if you're going to be stuck in the disconnect, like, hey, we got to get through these next 3 weeks. There's nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Plan something for the end of those 3 weeks. Like, okay, we're going to get out of here. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like, Jess and I had the opportunity to go to Nashville with friends, or we had the opportunity to plan a trip, and like, okay, that's something to look forward to. But then just what you said, like the other thing, plan the smallest little date night you can, even if it's at home. Like, we set up a movie theater once. And it was a fucking shit show, but it was a blast.
Those are the stuff that Joe does that I appreciate.
And it always goes wrong.
Oh, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, the thought was there, and it was a fucking steak dinner, and it was fucking awesome. You also actually acted out an entire scheme that my stuffed killer whale got stolen.
Oh yeah, we still haven't found him.
He's Frankie Ocean is my stuffed orca. He's been missing
for months.
Yeah. Joe does these things. He acts as the Joker, and he makes me complete puzzles and riddles to obtain my stuffed killer whale back. I said
earlier in the podcast, I'm really bad at being home alone.
and it shows.
I was just like, I'm
out
of control. I'm a lost dog. I make up characters.
But that makes things fun for me, and that's super important.
Yeah, we got to find that whale.
Dope. Okay. I feel like we've done it.
Yeah.
We have done it. We are an hour and 20 minutes in. Rach,
cut.
We apologize for you having to edit this. But I think that really sums up a lot of the questions. If we didn't get to them, I apologize. We'll just have to do another episode.
Yeah. I hope you guys like me so I can come back on, because this is a lot of fun. Actually.
We hope you like Joe.
Yeah. We can talk about other cool stuff.
Like what?
Toxic masculinity.
Oh, wait, do you want to touch?
No, we'll do that that'd be a great day.
That'd be a great
get insight from
Josh
too. Yeah, we could do that together.
Joe could pop off. I feel like that's a great one.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Oh.
It was a blast. Jess, I love you.
Jizz.
Sorry we're cheesy, but
we're happy to have. I'm so glad. We thought about this for a while. And that one dive night date, we really planned out this entire episode.
Yeah.
Did it go as planned, do you think?
It did. People need to go to dive bars and plan their nights more.
Go to dive bar and have a life talk.
Yeah.
That's our
Be
advice.
safe, though.
That's the tip of the dick today's episode is go to a dive bar and talk about life plans.
Yes.
Because it's good for the soul. Hey, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's Jess and Jizz, and we out.
See you guys.